p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. And the Cayman Islands National Museum. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990. 949-8037 or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett
Connor. Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 26th day of February 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Bear in mind that the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday and to remind you that, For the Record, birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And also by Yum. Yum operates in select private and government schools in Grand Cayman. Private school students can browse the Yum Cayman app to explore the monthly menu. Orders can be placed up to a month in advance or even last minute until 12 p.m. the night before. For government school students, there is no need to order in advance. All you have to do is stop by the Yum Canteen and enjoy. Yum's government school daily menus can be viewed at www.myschoolpass.com. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we do wish you a speedy recovery as well. And again, this morning, a big shout out to our two colleagues, DJ Lynn and Mr. Joel Wilson, wishing them a speedy recovery and all that is good as well. So, folks, I want to thank you again this morning for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the pleasure of being your host. My name is Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. You can call us on a toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number 1-800-534-8255, also 949-8037, 949-6990. Those are our landline numbers. Our WhatsApp number 925-3261. And don't forget, when you call, you will be hearing that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson, right there taking your calls as well. Don't forget also that we're on YouTube. You do follow us on YouTube by simply subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream, and we are on Facebook as well. So let's look at some of the birthdays. First of all, happy belated birthday to Miss Viola Brown. 103 years young. Some of you may know her as Miss Y, or family members may call her Aunt Y, as well. We believe her birthday was on Saturday, Miss Susan. Yesterday. Her birthday was yesterday. So belated happy birthday to Aunt Y. Let's look at other birthdays. Miss Janice Brown. I don't know if that's pronounced Janice or Janice. Janice Brown celebrating her birthday today. Nikki Foster also celebrating a birthday today. Tomorrow we see Deborah Ebanks will celebrate her birthday on the 27th. On the 29th, Lemuel McFeel will be celebrating his birthday. Then in the month of March, Miss Carol Jackson celebrating her birthday on March the 2nd. Miss Brenda Archer also celebrating her birthday on Sunday, March the 2nd. And as well as Miss Greta Tatum also celebrating her birthday on Sunday, March the 2nd. Don't forget, if you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us, and we will give them a big shout out right here on For the Record. And of course, we would not be able to give you these birthday shout outs without the assistance of our sponsors. They are Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Yum. Yum operates in select private and government schools in Grand Cayman. Private school students can browse the Yum Cayman app to explore the monthly menu. Orders can be placed up to a month in advance, or even last minute until 12 p.m. the night before. For government school students, there is no need to order in advance. Just stop by the Yum canteen and enjoy. Yum's government school daily menus can be viewed at www.myschoolpass.com. So, like I said, even if you send us the messages about someone's birthday, and we have gone beyond the birthday shout out time frame, we will try to inject those shout outs during the course of our show as well. Usually when we return from commercial breaks or something of that nature, we will do that as well, because we want to accommodate you. We know how much you value your friends and families and family members, and want to give them a big birthday shout out. So here we go. Birthday wishes for Sandra Simmons, coming from Venice Johnson and her family. So Miss Sandra Simmons, happy birthday greetings coming from Venice Johnson and family as well. Thank you very much for that. And here we have another one. Happy birthday to our dear friend Della from the Golden Girls. So Miss Della, happy birthday greetings coming from the Golden Girls as well. Keep sending them in and we will give them a big shout out here on For the Record. Meanwhile, let's see what is trending in the news. Let's find something positive to talk about. Why don't we do this? Yes, the launch of I Am a Civil Servant campaign. And there are many proud civil servants out there, as well as proud former civil servants, and I will include myself in that category. So the Cayman Islands government proud to announce the launch of I Am a Civil Servant campaign, a new initiative designed to highlight the numerous benefits and opportunities available within the civil service. This campaign aims to showcase the civil service as a great place to work, learn, and grow, emphasizing the government's commitment to employee well-being, professional development, and modern organizational practices. The campaign also illustrates how the civil service is navigating its journey to world class, celebrates the work of civil servants, and opens the door for others to join. The I Am a Civil Servant campaign is a testament to our commitment to fostering an inclusive, supportive, and dynamic work environment. We believe that our organization does not just provide a job, but an opportunity for self-actualization where employees can thrive in their careers while contributing meaningfully to the community and to nation building. Together, we are shaping the future of public service in the Cayman Islands. It is important for people to know that what it means, to be a civil servant. And I thank the Department of Communications for their commitment to sharing that measure. That's a quote coming from the Honorable Francis Manderson, Deputy Governor and Head of the Civil Service. Proud to be a civil servant. And we know that there have been many individuals who have been through the civil service. Some of our national heroes worked within the civil service as well. Of course, with this being an election year and election coming up on the 4th in April, the end of April, it will be interesting. I don't believe that there will be any political candidate out there or any party who, even if they intended to do so, would publicly talk about reducing the size of the civil service. In the past, we have heard that there have been threats about reducing the size of the civil service. There have been consultations that were sought in relation to looking at the size of the civil service, as well. But here in the Cayman Islands, while we demand more and more from government, it is almost impossible to do more with less as well. So we will continue to promote the civil service, and we would encourage Caymanians, generational Caymanians, look to the civil service for employment. At the same time, I would say to those heads of departments, those chief officers who are committed to employing Caymanians, that we should always, whenever possible, ensure that we put our Caymanians first and give them the first choice as far as employment is concerned. With that, we'll go to our first commercial break. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Swanson Curry Ebanks, 1914 through 1989. Curry Ebanks was the oldest of 10 children of John Audnett and Celestia Elvira Ebanks and attended West Bay Primary School. Taught by some of the great Caymanian sea captains, he took command of his first ship at 17. He qualified as a master mariner at 21 and continued his life at sea until a car accident terminated his maritime career in 1960. He married 3 times and was widowed twice, and he fathered 8 children. He is best remembered for his victorious battle with the 1944 hurricane, which overtook his ship, the Jemson, en route from Swan Island to Grand Cayman. At the height of the storm, he decided to demast the ship to prevent it from rolling over, which would have meant certain death for everyone aboard. During the next 8 days, the ship had to be demasted 3 times. Each time, Captain Curry had the sails put into a seaman's bag and attached to the bow to function as a sea anchor, guiding the ship purely by dead reckoning. When the storm subsided and he got his first confirmed sighting, he was 5 miles off East End.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
It will be Saturday, March 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The 13th Annual Rotary Central Health Check Lifesaver, a mini medical just for you, free to you. Your blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, hemoglobin, weight management, and more. Free medical guidance, doctors, nurses, medical technicians, free glucometers, blood pressure monitors, subject to conditions. Save the date March 1. See you at Cost You Less West Bay Road, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Foster's Airport, Foster's West Bay, Savannah United Church. The Rotary Central Health Check 25 Lifesaver, March 1st, supported by the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens and the Health Services Authority of the Cayman Islands, knowing changes everything.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949 92311. Oh, don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board our uniquely Cayman airline for Easter.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Hey Cayman parents, we get it. You're underslept, over-trafficked, you can barely find your sanity in the morning because you're still trying to find your kids' shoes and lunch boxes. Let Yum take some of the stress away. Every day, over 3,000 students enjoy delicious, nutritious meals from Yum. Over 5 million lunches served and counting. Private school parents? Browse the Yum Cayman app and order up to a month in advance or last minute by 12 a.m. the night before. Government school students? Just drop by the Yum canteen. No pre-orders needed. Yum can't help you find your sanity, but we can sure make your mornings just a bit easier. Check out daily menus at myschoolpos.com or visit yumcayman.ky to learn more.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have no guests in the studio yet, but we will have guests after our 8:15 news. There's one more thing I wanted to say also when I was doing my intro, that the format of For the Record, of course, will change slightly after nomination day, because there are expectations and plans to have candidates on For the Record. They will be paying for the time that they will be on. So the format will change slightly. We will be guided by them, as far as their ability or their willingness to, let's say, take phone calls or whatever, bearing in mind that they're paying for the slot, so they're the customer. Customer's always right. Just wanted to point that out to you as well. So we have another birthday greeting going out to Mrs. Laurel Watler, who's 101 coming from Miss Pat Forbes Wilson. Miss Laura Watler, happy birthday greetings coming from Miss Pat Forbes Wilson. And then Miss Jewel says that she also would like to send greetings to Aunt Vi, our young girl. How proud and happy we all are, to still have her in our midst. She is marvelous and wonderfully made. Love coming from Jewel as well. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. You have to turn your radio off or down because we're getting an echo from you.
Is that better?
Much better.
Thank you. Bless. Good morning. How you guys doing? All right?
I'm fine. How are you?
Respect. Give thanks. I'm Caymanian calling in. 10+ generation Caymanian, humbly speaking, but proudly speaking, okay? Don't take meekness for weakness. Okay? Quite often here it's done. And a lot of them are just pacified too. But back to your statement, I say a lot of our own people are just pacified too. The church has a lot to do with that. Yeah. Anyway, but that's your statement. A customer is always right. Yeah, in many cases, in a professional society, yes. If you have a white supremacist society, you're a black Caymanian in your own home, which is pretty much a darn white supremacist society. And if you saw what happened on the road incident the other day, and you saw the outcome, and you say anything different, truly you're mad. All right? Completely mad, or completely pacified, or both. All right? So I say that to say this. I myself, like many other Caymanians, that young Caymanian on the road that day, must have PTS from our own home. Not to mention some of the things I've been through even in America as a young black Caymanian growing up in the South, or any other young black person.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And I've been through some crap. Humbly speak, sorry my language, excuse me. All right? But what I saw the other day was absolutely insane. I'm going to add to that. I'm from an aquatic family. I'm from 3 of the founding 5 families of aquatics, arguably 4. All right? I've been in this industry my whole life. Anyone hearing me probably knows who's speaking. And if you don't, maybe you don't need to know, whatever, But anyway, I'm not here to declare myself, whatever, but I'm going to declare some reality to you. I am at a marina that I've been at since before a big man that came to our island bought this particular marina. All right? I've been there 10 years before he came back. I've been back I was away internationally for several years. I was in Africa 7 years. Anyway, back at this marina, just want to add to your story about the customer. I'm paying at this marina. I'm a customer at this marina. I'm a worker at this marina. I bring many, many customers to this marina. All right? I've had many complaints at the HR when the big man bought this marina. Man has done a lot for this island, bless him for that.
Mm-hmm.
But bought this marina, and there was a young lady. I use that word discriminately. All right? A female from another island above us there with the hero I respect, Mr. Castro. Spanish Latino, but obviously it takes black to be like, you have to have black to be Latino, you have to be black to have Creole, you have to be black to be mulatto, okay? So they have these, with this colonial Spanish mentality. And obviously, with all the guys that were at customs before the pandemic, and it was a pandemic, it was no goddamn pandemic.
Okay, you're running out of time before we get to our 8 o'clock news, so you may have to rush to get to your point.
Married man, I have made many complaints, all right? And I turned around and became the victim of these people, okay? So a customer is not always right even when they're right, especially in the Cayman Islands. What you saw now there on that road, and it's just absolutely disgusting and disgraceful, and the whole world sees it. All it has done is what do you call it? Emboldened any other colonial white supremacist mentality person, all right? And whoever that officer was, and I don't give a darn who he was, okay, should have been fired, should have been put on personal, on public display, okay? That young man should be recompensated, and it's beyond just that young man, because you people, majority of you people, have a hard time seeing when you go and worshiping this image of a black man that was Yeshua, and you painted an image. They painted an image for a reason of a white guy, and gave him a different name. Even there's no J in Hebrew, okay? And you people are worshiping this image. What you don't realize is you're worshiping the image of your oppressor, okay? And it's caused absolute oppression to be going on in our home. And if you're not listening to this, and they aren't listening now, this will only continue to get worse.
Mm-hmm. Caller, thank you very much. We apologize, but we have to go to our 8 o'clock news. Folks, when we return, we will have guests in the studio, and we will tell you what the parameters are in relation to that. When we will open up the phone lines, whether or not the phone lines will be open up, from scratch or later on during the show. Don't change that dial. Stay tuned to your favorite radio station, Radio Cayman, as we will be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor, and studio time by Foster's is 7:59.
Order up, K-Man. Foster's Bay Market Cafe is now on the Let's Eat app, bringing you mouth-watering burgers, bold wok sensations, crave-worthy Mexican food, and more. Whether you're in the mood for a sizzling stir-fry, grabbing a juicy cheeseburger for lunch, or craving a fiesta of flavors, our selection of Bay Market Cafe faves has you covered. Delivered straight to your door. No lines, no hassle. The best food on the island is now just a tap away. Hungry for more? Search Foster's on the Let's Eat app now. Foster's, better because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With a look at your latest news, I'm Jevi Ebanks. A jury has found Javier Davis Howell guilty of 3 firearm charges as well as a charge for dangerous driving. The verdict came after Justice Cheryl Richards concluded her summation on Tuesday afternoon. The Crown, led by Kenneth Ferguson, presented DNA evidence linking Howell to the crime. Howell was seen driving dangerously on South Sound Road, evading police and subsequently striking a utility pole. He testified in his own defense but was found guilty on all counts. Sentencing will take place in 8 weeks following the usual pre-sentencing reports. The People's Progressive Movement has announced Perlina McGaw-Lumsden as its candidate for Georgetown West in the upcoming 2025 general elections. The party describes McGaw-Lumsden as a passionate community advocate with a strong background in education, healthcare policy, and mental health awareness. They say she brings a wealth of experience and deep commitment to the Caymanian people. The announcement follows 2 others, with Cayman's oldest remaining political party announcing the current Labour Minister Dwayne Seymour and current Deputy Premier Kenneth Bryan have joined the party to contest the elections. The elections are set for the 30th of April, with nomination day on the 3rd of March. For more details on the PPM candidates, visit their website, theprogressives.ky.
All eyes on the screen, and it's a victory for you!
Fierce competition at this year's First Tech Challenge Inter-School Robotics Tournament Into the Deep on Saturday. As CIG TV's Donna Bush reports, it was a day of innovation as young robotics teams from all schools across 3 islands showcased their skills.
Excitement buzzed as students from various private and public schools gathered for the highly anticipated Minds-inspired First Tech Challenge. The annual Robotics Showdown was more than just a competition. It was a celebration of innovation, teamwork, and the limitless potential of young minds in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now, the event brought together students from across the Cayman Islands, proving that STEM has no boundaries. With initiatives like FTC and the newly introduced Junior Robotics program, young innovators are now being encouraged to break barriers and explore careers in technology. As the final rounds wrapped up, the robots powered down. One thing was clear: the future of STEM in the Cayman Islands is brighter than ever.
Congratulations to the winning alliance of Cayman Prep and High School and Grace Christian Academy. That is your latest news. I'm Jevi Ebanks. Now to the BBC for headlines around the world.
BBC News with Roisin Hasty. Donald Trump has welcomed a new agreement giving the United States access to Ukraine's mineral resources, which he said could be signed by President Zelensky in Washington on Friday. He said American taxpayers would get back more than the sum given in aid to Ukraine. Israel and Hamas say they've agreed that on Thursday, Israel will release the 600 Palestinian detainees and prisoners it refused to free last weekend. Israel will reportedly also release an additional set of Palestinians. In exchange, Hamas will hand over the bodies of 4 Israeli men. The energy giant BP is to slash its renewable energy investments to instead focus on increasing oil and gas production. The move has been met with dismay by some. Sudanese authorities say 46 people died when a military plane crashed in a residential area outside Khartoum. The army says the aircraft went down during takeoff. The Afghan authorities are continuing to search for people swept away by flash flooding on Tuesday. They've been confirmed that at least 34 people were killed. Taiwan's defense ministry says China has set up a military training zone just over 70 kilometers from Taiwan's southwestern coast. It said the exercises were a blatant provocation. A judge in Australia has given a 14-year prison sentence to the parents of Elizabeth Struz, a young diabetic girl who died after being denied insulin for almost a week. The small religious sect her parents belonged to opposed medical care. And a funeral home in southwestern China has had to open its doors to members of the public after the noodle dishes on offer in its canteen became so popular. Food lovers had been pretending to be mourners to gain access to the Erlong funeral home in Guizhou just to try the famous spicy pork noodles.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a second location in Governor's Square. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
The 8 a.m. weather update, brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 77 degrees. Relative humidity is 71%. The barometric pressure 29.96 inches and rising. The wind is north-northwest at 3 knots. Overnight low was 68. Synopsis indicate light northerly winds along with smooth to slight seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours due to a weak pressure gradient across the northwest Caribbean. Satellite images show mainly few low-level clouds over the Cayman area. Now the forecast for today and tonight calling for mainly fair skies with less than a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will rise to the low to mid-80s today and will fall to the low to mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be north to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be smooth to slight with wave heights of less than 2 feet. High tide will be this morning at 8:45, low tide this afternoon at 2:58, and a high tide again tonight at 8:40. The sun will set this evening at 6:29 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:46. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Saturday morning.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. Don't lie on your resume. Because if you say you've got trapeze experience, someone might shoot you out of a cannon and expect you to do a gymnast routine while flying through the air at 82 miles an hour. And just because you want to land on your feet doesn't mean you will. But if you're smart, you'll have CG medical insurance, so you get the best coverage for the price.
Get the best coverage for the price. CG Britcay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update, brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first. The Cayman Islands Agriculture Society presents Roots Rock Reggae with reggae superstar Taras Riley live in concert at the Agriculture Fairgrounds on Saturday, March 1st, alongside Mr. Notch and Local Motion 345, Sugar Daddy, Sound Revolution, and more. It's Roots Rock Reggae going down Saturday, March 1st at the Agriculture Fairgrounds. General admission tickets only $45 and VIP $65 with access to the raised viewing platform. Purchase your tickets now at eventpro.ky. Roots Rock Reggae is brought to you by the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, Cayman Distributors, Coca-Cola, and Cayman Airways.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning again. Let's take a look at traffic. Coming from the east for the Rappan Shamrock Road, traffic is flowing moderately. A different story as you approach the Linford Pearson Highway as traffic is steady. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way as well as Agnes Way, steady traffic. Slow moving traffic on Crew Road. Expect some delays as you head on down to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Crew Road is moving along moderately. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing at a good pace in both directions. Coming off of the Esley Tibbetts Highway, traffic is moving on moderately and continuing on to the Industrial Park area. Moderate flow of traffic in both directions on North Sound Road as well as Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue. If you've seen accidents, please let us know by calling us at 949-6990. Owen Roberts Drive, no issues there as traffic is light to moderate. Edward Street flowing moderately. Shedden Road, moderate flow of traffic. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is steady. Slight delays expected as if you're heading to Georgetown area. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
Subway and Oreo has changed the dessert game. Introducing the Oreo Footlong Cookie, a full 12 inches of chocolatey, creamy goodness. It's big, it's bold, and it's here for a limited time. Perfect for sharing or not. We won't judge. Want it fast? Order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick pickup and earn loyalty points, or get it delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Don't wait. Treat yourself today. The Oreo Footlong Cookie is calling your name. Subway. Eat fresh. Snack sweet.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Attention all residents of Savannah and surrounding areas. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman PACE Committee invites you all to their prostate and colon cancer awareness meeting on Thursday, February 27th at the Savannah United Church, starting at 7 p.m. Guest speakers are Dr. David and Dr. Mubin from Grand Harbor Medical, who will be discussing colon and prostate cancer diagnosis, treatment, and prevention. Men, come out and get your PSA test done for free. Remember, early detection saves lives. Refreshments will be served.
Maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Attention Radio Cayman listeners, Radio Cayman is excited to announce the launch of the new listener survey. You can visit Radio Cayman's website, Facebook or Instagram pages. Pass the word, get it done. Take the survey and help shape the future of Radio Cayman.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My apologies for the dead spot there. Preparing the studio for our guests. We do have one of our guests in the studio now, and we're expecting some more as well. So, as usual, on a Wednesday, the slot that has been reserved for the opposition from the inception, of the show. And of course, that will change slightly after, by nomination day. I refer to it as the last free day. Today, Wednesday, my pleasure to have in the studio with me, none other than the Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Joey Hugh. Mr. Leader, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and good to be here. Yeah. So this is, it's all, been talking about it for years now, building up, to the elections. And here we are. It's a stark reminder, as you just said, that this will be the last official opposition morning on the radio. So happy to be here for whatever comes in the future. I'm happy to be here to share this morning with you and the listening public. And let me say good morning to them all on all three islands, and in particular the people in Georgetown North. But to be here and share with you this morning, this being the last day of the opposition, hopefully, if all goes right, it won't be my last day on the radio with you, but as in the capacity as a member of the government, but certainly, hopefully this will be my last day with you as in the capacity of leader of the opposition or in the opposition. It's been a tremendous 4 years, a challenging 4 years, and for the time that I served in the opposition, and certainly as the leader of the opposition, we did our best to uphold our constitutional responsibilities. His Majesty's opposition. It has been a roller coaster ride, I think, for us in Parliament and certainly for the country. But we did our best to keep the government in line, and in the latter days to assist in keeping the country running. And so I want to thank everyone for their support over that time. And as I said, we took the task on with vigor and with the responsibility we were given, but we don't look forward to doing it again. We're going to move forward now towards forming a government after the general elections on April 30th.
And over the past few days, we saw some more announcements as well. I remember the last time when you were on, I asked you the question in terms of the number of seats that you would be contesting. So we've seen some more announcements recently, and I believe one of those individuals will be in the studio with us shortly.
Yes, we have a number of announcements to make this week. We made an announcement on social media yesterday, and that person will be in the studio shortly. He's caught up in one of our priorities, traffic. And then we will be announcing, we sent out a press release this morning. I don't know if you've seen that, announcing another person.
Yes, I saw
that. And we'll be announcing one more on Thursday evening, Friday morning as well, maybe two more. But we announced out there the Honourable Dwayne Seymour, who will be joining us later on this morning as a member of the Progressives entering into the next election. And press release, and that's for the district of Bordentown East. And then we have made it public this morning that Miss Perlina McGall-Lumsden has joined the party and will be representing the party in the upcoming elections for the constituency of Georgetown West. And so we have been busy. There's been a lot of work happening in the background, and we are, as I have always said from the beginning, we've been working patiently and deliberately as we put together a team that we know that we can work with, a team that we know can hit the ground running, and a team that shares in similar values and policies and what we see as the future for the country.
Mm-hmm. And then your party conference will be taking place?
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Our party conference is taking place this Saturday, March the 1st at the Kimpton Sea Fire, and we got a few questions about that, OC, and we would have preferred, much more would have preferred, a more affordable venue. Not that our people don't deserve to dress up and come out and have a good evening too. However, I think in our inquiries, it seems as if the policy is that none of the government, Mary Miller Hall and others are not available for political events, even if it's a cost or not. So we were then challenged with finding a location that could hold everyone comfortably, so we didn't have to worry about rain and all that sort of stuff. So we're very gracious for the Kimpton Sea Fire working with us to accommodate us on Saturday, March 1st. And it will be registration. So the conference will be broken into two parts. You will have the first section of the conference would be for members only. And so we've seen we expect a nice crowd. We've seen a huge uptick in membership in the last few days. We had an executive meeting last night where we confirmed our a large group of new members. So we're very thankful for that. And so the first section will be for registration will be 5:30 p.m. for the members only, and that meeting will begin at 6:30 p.m. prompt, and then at 7:30 p.m. it will be open for the public. And what that means is that the persons who are members of the party will come in and we'll get through the business of the party. That's electing the executive and the directors, etc. And then when we open to the public, that is when we will present our team. You will have speeches by outgoing leaders, incoming leader, myself. We'll have entertainment and one or two surprises. So that will be from 7:30 onward, and the public is invited to join us at that point. So we're really looking forward to it, and that officially kicks us off in advance of the nomination day on Monday, March the 3rd.
Okay. Would it be possible for someone to join the Progressives as a candidate after the party conference?
Yes, it is possible. It is possible. In particular, if the person is a member of the party, then yeah, that is possible. What can't happen at this stage is we had to have nominations for the executive. The non-elected arm of the party would have had to been in from 15 days prior to the conference. So those nominations are closed, and we won't be accepting nominations off the floor on that one. But there is still opportunity for others, and even after the conference, for vacant seats. So I should say that for vacant seats, if someone wants to contest, someone in the party wants to contest a seat that we already have a candidate nominated for, there at the conference it would have to be a runoff.
Okay.
Yeah. And quite frankly, that really that nomination should have been in, that we could have had a district conference for that district, council, for that district to have a runoff at that stage. But you never know.
You spoke about the uptick in numbers of members, and when we had the Honorable Kenneth Bryan on the show with us on Monday, I did ask the question whether or not he would be urging or expectations that some of his supporters would become progressive party members, at the end of the day. The same thing with any new candidates coming on board that have been announced or coming on board. Do you expect that to happen as well? Or are you looking forward to it?
That has happened. Some of the candidates that we have announced earlier became members, some as long ago as 2 years ago and stuff. But yes, we expect with some of the newer candidates that we'll see further applications for membership. I think we've seen, one of the reasons we've seen this uptick, one of the other reasons, and yes, new members coming on. The Honourable Kenneth Bryan, we found that a lot of his committee were still members of the PPM, but we saw a lot of persons who former members coming back, and obviously some new members. But we are seeing also an uptick in persons that are not closely affiliated with candidates or the party, but who reached out and asked, how can I play a role? Because they feel that sitting on the sidelines is no longer acceptable. And whilst many of them may not be interested in running, or because of their jobs they can't run, or because of their jobs they can't sit on the executive, they wanted to show their support by joining the party and having a voice that way, and showing solidarity and showing their support. So we've seen quite a number of that. People that we wouldn't normally, I don't know, not that we wouldn't normally see them joining the party, but they weren't affiliated or because of family or whatever. Just we have seen persons, genuinely reaching out and say, how can I be a part of this? How can I help?
Okay, and talking as a continuation of that, how can I help? We know that prior to election day, there will be the need for agents, and then of course on election day, at every polling station, you're allowed to have agents as well. So that will be a critical. And not to mention the count also, or the counts that will take place. There will be that critical need for support. So again, this gives you the ability to draw from those members.
Yeah,
as
absolutely. Well. And it's each one of the candidates will need to find trustworthy individuals and hopefully members of the party from that constituency who will act as agents on the day of the elections. We do agent training and everything for them. We're quite organized in that sense. We understand how it works, and we usually aim to get enough persons that each person only has to do like a 2-hour shift. So we need 2 agents at any given time in the polling station, and then I think you're allowed 1 free agent, 1 roaming agent. Normally, whoever you put in charge of the agents, that person comes and goes and checks on people, brings water, whatever you need. If their pencils need sharpening, all of those things.
Yep. Mobile voting as well.
Mobile voting. You are invited to send an agent, or you yourself can go along with mobile voting. Postal ballots, you are invited to as they name out the postal ballots that have registered, and they send them off. And then, as you said, the final count. Normally, your lead agent would be there, or yourself. Some candidates choose to be there in the room while the count is happening. So yeah, there's a lot of areas you can help. Other areas are obviously, we have been on the ground doing door-to-door, what we call our walk-in tours of the constituency. And that's another area that persons within the community who are members of the party and supporters of the particular candidate have been assisting by going with them and taking them around the community.
Okay, this is a good point, Ms. Susan, for us to take a commercial break. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. More conversation with the Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Joey Hugh, and we will have other members of the opposition in the studio with us. When we return, I have a question that I think I may have heard it asked on another, possibly on Sterling Dwayne's show, Talk Today. But with one of the new announced members being a current member of cabinet, how will that individual or any individual holding being in that position be able to juggle the two of being a party member and at the same time being a part of the cabinet? Possibly no conflict of interest whatsoever, but sort of a juggling act as well. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts Building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have guests in the studio. I'm going to, in his ministerial capacity, I will welcome him, the Honorable Dwayne Seymour. Good morning. Welcome to the For the Record. And then I will have the Leader of the Opposition then introduce him as a member of the Progressives. Minister, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me. Good morning, Cayman. Cayman Brack, Little Cayman, the people of Bordentown East. Thanks for having me here. We'll see.
Want to forget them, right? People of Bordentown East.
Yes. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. It's exciting to join the PPM. The party of choice, and one I think that everyone should pay close attention to. It's a new party, albeit some people label the name as PPM, and some people like, some people dislike, just as they did with the UDP. And I want people now to not think of themselves as individuals, or think about the country itself. What does the country need at this time? And I think the PPM is the party that can actually take this country forward for all that we have suffered, and I say suffered, for the last 4 years in the that trial of independence being brought together last minute after an election, and somehow just huddling and trying to piece things together. It's not what the country deserves. The country deserves to know who their leader is going to be, who their candidates are, and what they have laid out for the country itself to tackle some of the many problems that the country has at this time, to including cost of living and everything else.
Okay, Mr. Leader.
Yeah, thank you. And just to echo what Honourable Minister said, we have, obviously there's history with the Honourable Minister and ourselves serving together in Cabinet, serving in the opposition in this term together until we all saw what was happening on the other side, and the Honourable Minister at that time came to us and said, guys, they've approached me about coming over to help. They feel they need to get a bit more experience in the government. There are things that we started that I think I can help them get through, and he was very, very upfront with us. And if I want to say we warned him, don't go, but he still went. But but he went with our blessings. He went with our understanding of why he was doing it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And now we've come to full circle, and we feel that there is, the objective for myself was to be an inclusive party, to bring in as many constituencies as I could, or certainly constituencies across the different districts. And we feel now that we have Alva Saku running in Newlands. We'll be announcing a Savannah candidate on Friday, replacing the candidate we previously had, who had to pull out for personal reasons. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And now
I see some names floating around there.
and now the Honourable Minister in Boddentown East, and then of course we have Justin in North Side. So we're reaching back out, breaking back into some of the other districts, and being a bit more inclusive and balanced in our approach of the different skill sets we have within the party. So we are continuing. Our slogan for the campaign is proven stable leadership, and proven we can all. Not everyone is going to like us. The fact is that we were the only party. We've been the only party for the last 12 years. And so if you're going to pick on parties, there's only one to pick on. But in the same sense, we're the only party in the current election that can say we have a proven track record. And we have a proven track record of fiscal responsibility. We have a proven track record of honesty and integrity. We have a proven track record of leading the country through difficult times such as COVID, etc. Even going further back, we've always been a party that have risen to the occasion during crises, and so this is something that we feel strong about. This is the basis of the party, and now we've listened to what the public has said. The public said, "Listen, you need to bring in some younger blood, and you need to be a bit more inclusive and representational of the culture and the people of the Cayman Islands," and so I have been extremely focused on doing that and aware of that, and I promised everyone when I took leadership that this is something that I would do, and so we've been very deliberate in the way we've gone about selecting our candidates for the upcoming election, and I think we have that balance. I think we've struck that right balance now of persons that represent various areas, constituencies, views, but all coming together under the umbrella as to what we want for the country and proven stable leadership.
Okay. Should we read in, or what should we read into those districts or constituencies where you haven't identified a candidate? Should we read into that?
No. We can't win them all, and it has been a challenge. I think West Bay has been a challenge for the PPM, and I think that only comes from. That's where the UDP originated out of, and the PPM originated out of Georgetown. But we can see now that the PPM is growing, becoming much more of a national or a representational group from across the three islands. West Bay, one of my goals as a leader personally, once we win the government, is that I ensure that we have offices, representational offices in each of the districts, or party offices in each of the districts, so that we don't leave anyone out. And as I've said, if we don't have a candidate from West Bay, or no one joins the party from West Bay after the election, we will still open an office in West Bay to ensure that the people of West Bay have somewhere they can go to get representation from the government and from the party. And the same thing in the eastern districts. Sister Islands is the same thing. We want to ensure that we maintain a presence in each area, that persons can have an opportunity to come in and seek representation from the government, God's willing, but certainly get a better understanding and become a part of what the PPM is about.
Mm-hmm. We have a question about whether or not civil servants would be able to attend the conference, and I'm not sure from the Deputy Governor's Office and whatever instructions are there and whatever the public service management law says, whether or not you're familiar with that. We'll come to that, but before we do, Minister Seymour, God's willing, comes Saturday, you will then be an official candidate for the Progressives. Up until election day and the results come out, all members of Parliament are still members of Parliament, and all members of Cabinet are still members of Cabinet, albeit that your role in Cabinet and what you do is will be limited. And some people are wondering how you'll be able to juggle your Cabinet responsibilities and being a progressive. And some may say, and you may say, well, I've always been a progressive. I went over and joined the government with the blessing of the PPM, so I've never left. But is there any conflict there?
There can be conflict. Well, obviously, this is something that Premier and her cabinet team has spoke about, and the caucus team. Mm-hmm. And obviously, these are new territories.
Yes.
and I guess one of the things that we've been warned, you can't speak about the government on anyone's platform or otherwise, but it's a learning experience, and one that we have to continuously, meet about as a caucus, the now caucus, to ensure that we don't have any conflicts or clashes. And obviously we're very responsible to this point, even so responsible that we didn't even respond to the critters, so what I want to say is that is something that it's a very good question, and one that can become mucky. But obviously with the Premier that we have, she will keep us in check and always giving us guidance as to every week as to how to move forward with this, because even now that we're announcing this week was carefully considered by her as to when we could do so, me and Deputy Premier. So I don't even want to say that this is also my public call for Premier to. I've never been in a cabinet. I've never been in a cabinet without Honorable Premier Juliana O'Connor Connolly, and that would be different. And I don't want it to be different. I'm calling on her to run. We need the party now, because if you give me a couple seconds to say that the Honorable Joey Hugh hasn't been a premier ever as yet. He's a leader of the PPM, and one that I have great confidence in. But it would be good for someone such as Miss Juliana O'Connor Connolly to be there with us, to help us steer this generation on to the new leadership, to be next to Joey's side and all of our side to give us that guidance. And she is a lawyer also, so that legal background is very helpful. But it would be good because of all, and I say that because a lot of experienced politicians are now leaving the business, with all the banter and criticisms out there. People just don't want that for their families anymore. And we've found someone who has faith in the premier, someone who's made out of steel, and someone that could really help cement this group in being the group that is needed right now for a good ship came on. I just want to mention that back in 1961, right, there was a party called the National Democratic Party. There was one called the Christian Democratic Party in 1962. And then they had the Unity Team in the 70s and 80s, and then they had the Dignity Team in the 70s and 80s, and then they had the National Team in 1992. The Progressives formed in Democratic Party formed in 1991, and then you had a Democratic Alliance in 1996. Then you had Team Cayman in 1996, and then you had the UDP formed in 2001. Most parties, as I said, form out of convenience of being the leading group. Most in Cayman, as I've seen it, and I stand to be corrected. But what I can say about the PPM is that it's the only group who has lasted more than 20 years and still maintain their structure whether they're in power or not. You have to admire that, and you have to admire that this is a group that should be considered and should be looked at. It is not the same group as people thought it was some 20 years ago. There's only 2 existing elected members that are continuing to run in this new election, albeit the group that they are formulating together is a group of persons who have experience and some who are now elected. So while some people are looking for candidates who have never been elected before and think that is the answer, that is not the answer. I can tell you that if you go in there, in that cabinet, in that caucus, trying to navigate and never been elected before, you're gonna have problems trying with the budget, and you're gonna have problems with navigating the civil service and trying to understand how that works. You're gonna have a lot of clashes. We need someone that can hit the ground running. There's a lot of problems that we have. Around the world has problems, but we're too small to fail, and we need a group that can quickly realize what to do to give our people some ease and relief.
Okay, thank you very much. With that, we're going to take a commercial break, folks. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, with Minister Dwayne Seymour and the Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Joe Hugh, will continue shortly.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by CG Britke. Insurance, health, pensions, life, where people come first.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the next 9 minutes, we're going to go to another commercial break, and that was because we went over a little before our last commercial break. But as a gentleman, as a political pundit, and having studied political science and everything else, when I listened to Minister Seymour, talk about the scrutiny and the timeliness with which the announcement was made based on the Premier's concerns and based on her advice, my question would be, can we take from that with her being the Premier, first amongst equals, so she has, cautioned her equals in terms of, when you should announce.
Yes.
Maybe is it that why, even though she has said that she's not going to run, her being the Premier, right, first amongst equals, that if anything, she should be the last person if she's going to make that run, if she's going to do so, because her conflict would be even so much more obvious as well. Just asking.
So you're quite right, and I'd allow the leader to.
See, we discussed it in great detail. Of course, we have, in discussing this, we have Sir Alden McLaughlin, constitutional expert, regionally, not just Cayman, and the Honourable Premier, who's a very knowledgeable person with the Constitution and in government period, vast experience. But the discussion was that on Friday the House prorogues, and so basically that is done so that persons can start to campaign. And so the House prorogues on Friday. They do require, and of course what would kick in then is what is called a purdah.
Yes.
Where the cabinet cannot make any major decisions that will tie the next government in any major policy or financial decisions that the next government would have to be committed to. And so that opens the door, then opens the way for candidates to begin their campaigning. Monday the 3rd will be nomination day, and at that point you are now a candidate.
Yes.
And so Saturday, making the Honourable Minister Seymour and the Honourable Deputy Premier Kenneth Bryan members or official candidates for the PPM on Saturday fits in with all of the guidelines of the Constitution.
And then any other person contemplating that.
And any other person contemplating. I caught you there.
You're a good politician.
Let me say this, OC. I've had many conversations with the Honourable Premier and many conversations with others in our party who are retiring. And I respected all of their views and their reasons. What we have done is we have seen, for instance, Mr. David White stepping aside and supporting Ms. Pearlina McGall-Lumsden for the constituency of Georgetown West. He's not leaving the party. He didn't resign from the party. He's simply saying, listen, I'm tired. I can't give what I used to give. I would rather be the person in the background again, supporting, and I feel Perlina is a good choice, a good candidate to represent the people of Georgetown West, and she has my full support. And in fact, he has been walking the streets with her. Then you have, our good friend, my deputy, Miss Barbara Connolly, who, for her reasons as well, said, listen, it's time for me to step aside. I didn't even know I was going to do this 8 years ago until the night before nomination day. And so, I have identified Craig Frederick, a son of the soil, a Windsor Park, born and bred Windsor Park resident, and I am going to support him. I'm going to step aside. I'm not disappearing. I'm not leaving. In fact, she will be nominated on Saturday to the General Council for the party. So she's not at all leaving. She's also a conference chairperson. So very active, and will remain active in the party and remain active in her community. But she feels it's time that she puts someone younger forward, and she's putting forward Craig Frederick for the constituency of Georgetown South. And so we go on where we see others retiring, like Sir Alden in Red Bay. He's putting forward someone that's no stranger to Red Bay. He lives in Red Bay, no stranger to the party. He's been working with the party for the last 18 years or so. Been a member of the party for 20-odd years in Roy Tatum, a person that has vast experience in Parliament, integral part of our caucus as a government, integral part of our caucus as an opposition, did everything from office management to speech writing to research to, if there's anyone that knows Parliament, knows laws, it would be Roy, and he also knows what representational politics means as well. And so here we have people that are stepping aside and putting someone forward and not necessarily leaving the party. Sir Alden will be nominated once again, and will most all, with God's blessings, remain as chairperson of the party after the conference on Saturday. So they're not going anywhere. They're staying with the party. So I respected everyone, and in the instance of the Honourable Premier, I respected her choices, when she said she wasn't going to run. We had hoped that we would have been able to find someone to for her to step aside and support in the district of Kimmanbrack East, as we had hoped to find someone in the district of Kimmanbrack West and Little Cayman with Mose Cocarno. Nomination day hasn't come yet, so don't count us out yet. But we certainly, I think it's pretty public that our candidate of choice there in Kimmanbrack West has decided not at this stage not to contest the election. But when it comes to the Honourable Premier in East, we don't have anyone for her to support there. I don't know where her mind is, but I do know that her people have been calling for her to run again. I think I know that the amount of messages that I receive asking me and trying to encourage me to speak to her to run again, that her people in Kimmanbrack East wants her to run again. There is no denying what she and Honourable Mose Cocarno have done for the Sister Islands. In the last few years, roads have been paved, city water. No one ever thought it'd see city water in Kimmanbrack. The infrastructure that have been put in place, probably more public spaces and parks per capita than anywhere in this region. And, a growing and thriving industry there that has so much potential, but they've done it, both of them have done it, with the people of Kimmanbrack in mind, that they have not overdeveloped the country, that they're doing it the way that the Kimmanbrack people would like to see it done, and nobody can deny her contribution there. So I don't know what she's going to do, but I can tell you her people want her to run again.
Okay, with that, folks, we've reached the top of our headline news. I'm going to try to see how much I can squeeze. Instead of using the squeezer, when you have those hand squeezers, I'm going to use my hand itself and try to see how much I can squeeze that we can have revealed before Saturday. But they're pretty tight-lipped right here in the studio as well, even though they've been giving us some, shedding light in some areas as well. So don't change that dial. You never know what you may hear after the headline news at 9 o'clock.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Jevi Ebanks. The Cayman Islands Airport Authority has warned the public about a fraudulent social media post claiming an annual unclaimed baggage sale at the Owen Roberts International Airport. The CIAA advises they do not conduct such sales and advises against clicking on the fake post's link or providing any personal or financial information. In regional news, Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley has reshuffled her cabinet following the resignation of Marcia Caddell, who cited a misalignment of principles. Key changes included Kate McConney as Minister of Economic Affairs and Investment, Chad Blackman as Minister of Education, and Jonathan Reed as Minister of Innovation. Motley expressed confidence in the new appointees and thanked outgoing ministers for their service. In St. Lucia, Sergeant Ricardo Charlemagne has been denied bail after being charged with theft in connection to the disappearance of an M16 rifle from the Gros Islet police station. The RSLPF is investigating, and Police Commissioner Vernon Gardy assured the public of its efforts to combat institutional corruption. Former Minister Hermangild Francis has called for strong sentencing if the senior officer is found guilty. That's your latest headlines. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. If you've been listening, then you know that in the studio with me, the Honorable Joey Hugh, Leader of the Opposition, and Minister Dwayne Seymour, who on Saturday will officially be a candidate for the PPM, even though the announcement has been made earlier as well. We had a few questions. One person wanted to get a view on Advisory District Council, something they point out that has been in our Constitution since 2009, and we have never had an effective Advisory District Council. Law was prepared and everything for it, but never came into force. And the other question that we had was civil servants and their ability to attend the party conference. And of course, you know, you have limited control, you know, over that.
Thank you, OC. Yes, we have the district councils will be in our manifesto, but even more importantly, we will be voting on amendments to our party constitution on Saturday. And part of those amendments would be to bring our constitution in line with district conferences, different district councils. And I do believe that there are some amendments that need to be made to the constitution as well to bring it in line with what is with the single member constituencies, etc. So we all need to get on the same page in that, but we are committed to doing that. It is time now, and if you are going to really have representational politics in the constituencies, then or districts, that's a decision that has to be made. Do we try to do it per constituency? That would be a lot easier in, let's say, Kimmanbrack and perhaps, or certainly East End and North Side. But how easy will it be to do that in Georgetown with 7 constituencies? And so many of those constituencies bordering each other, where all of the needs are basically the same. And those are all questions we have to answer, but we are committed to the district councils.
But you could, if I could interject there, you could still have Georgetown as a district.
Right.
And then the number of constituencies that
or representatives from each right. So those are the little details we would need to work out. Yeah.
We've also seen over the years where district councils around the world has been disruptive, and we need to ensure that the remit of the councils are to uplift the representatives in that area and try to assist them in doing a good job for the people of the district, rather than trying to tear them down. And I think that's what some persons are scared of, that it'll be distracting.
Yeah.
And it all depends on how it is built.
How it is
designed.
You can have in some countries where, and that those are in other constitutions where district councils are elected on and you have parochial elections and stuff, and you have a mayor elected in a council. And then what you may have happen is that the mayor and the minister, or the mayor and the MP, are from one party, and majority of the council members are from a second party, and then you have, you know what that brings.
Yeah, that can be disruptive. You want to take the politics out of it to that
You want to take the politics out of it and make it much more, local about the community and representations for the community.
Precisely.
So, with that in mind, those are the discussions we will have, but we are committed to that. I don't know about the whether civil servants would be officially allowed to come to the to the conference. I know that they can attend meetings. They just can't get up on the stage and speak.
Right.
So if you can attend meetings, I would believe that, and I don't think there's any rules against civil servants being members of a party either.
Right. Yeah, I'm not
so that in that context, it would simply mean that it's like a civil servant, in my opinion, being a member of Lions or Rotary or any other organization like that, and attending a meeting of such. I think where the concern is if a civil servant were to get up on a platform, political platform, and speak, or even, I think we have to be careful with things such as endorsing candidates and that sort of stuff. And that is more for protection of the civil servant as well, because if you endorse a candidate in one party and then that person doesn't win and another party wins or another group wins, then you have to work with the individual that you endorsed the candidate against. And that can create some issues.
And another factor also, if I may, Minister, I'll come to you. The elections office relies on a lot of civil servants to fill those roles as polling clerks, presiding officers, returning officers, and things of that nature as well. So that's extremely important. Minister?
I'm saying that, with the civil service, we're such a small community. I mean, the electorate is what, 25,000? In total, I think it is, or thereabout.
Yeah.
And if we talk about having some 4,000 to 6,000 civil servants, government-connected companies, and we're talking about them having a spouse, that's half of the voting electorate. And we ought to be careful as to how we stem them from being a part of this process. And I agree that they shouldn't get up on the platform and speak bad about the government or otherwise. And there's guidelines there. They have their guidelines as to what. But I remember when I used to work at Cayman Airways, I was so upset that I couldn't become a part of the process, get on people's platform. And after I left, I was so relieved. and right away, I went on someone's platform. So people want to get involved. Even if they're civil servants.
Well, do either of you have a view in relation to civil servants who want to contribute other than being a civil servant to their country in terms of being a representative? In the private sector, you can seek a leave of absence if your employer is in favor of that. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they say, well, it's going to put our company in the forefront of politics, and we don't want it done. I believe that we have seen in the past where, and there was a gap in between where a person was a civil servant, became a politician, became a minister, went to the private sector, and then returned to government. In a country where the pool of candidates and qualified persons is limited, do you have a view in relation to a person who's a public servant, a civil servant, running for political office and not being ostracized after that from the civil service in terms of their ability to, not for the civil service to hold a job for them, but at least their ability to apply to be able to work back in the civil service again?
Well, I mean, I spoke to the deputy governor just a few days ago about this. Not in particular, but about a few items in terms of civil servants becoming involved in politics, and they have their guidelines and their booklet as to the do's and don'ts. But I would be in favor of persons, if persons wanted to contest elections, being able to, obviously they need to communicate and give the relevant time, and be given an opportunity to get a job back in government. It mightn't be necessary that they'll be able to hold the same job, but at least they would have to understand that they would have to work their way back up or otherwise. But I guess the civil service would have to appoint on that.
I'll start with the private sector, and I have been surprised over the last couple of elections in the hesitation of many in the private sector to provide leave of absences. This time around, we've had a couple that initially said that they would provide a leave of absence, and then once they said they were running with a party, they changed their minds, and then they changed their minds back. Because I guess they realized, it's not just one party now. There's a few parties out there. And like I said, this is where a lot of the we can speak about the PPM's achievements, and we all know what they are. But what the other side of it is that the only party for the last 12 years, anything negative about parties were thrown at us. So I think that's why some of those persons have changed their views and have allowed the leave of absences. And I certainly won't call company names, but on behalf of our candidates that they've done that for, we want to thank them, because it truly, the persons are putting themselves forward to be criticized, to be under the microscope of the public, and they still have families and responsibilities. And it's such a huge step for love of country. And to have the support of your employer behind you to say, go, give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, your job will be here for you. Unfortunately, we've seen also examples of companies that have become involved politically with other groups, and then have said to persons who are aligned with us, sorry, you're going to have to quit, or even firing them. That is unfortunate in such a small country. That is unfortunate. But, time will tell, and we'll see what happens there. And then, of course, there are those who are concerned about victimization as a business, small business, etc. The larger firms, I have found, their partners, their global partners, that is, and perhaps their risk teams aren't as familiar with Cayman as it is, and they see, they often tell persons, we can't give you leave of absence, and they're basing those decisions on probably, issues they've encountered in other countries, and compliance issues, etc. On the government side, we talked about it after the last election. or 2 elections ago, in fact, and I think there was a recommendation from some of the observers that one of the things you could look at is if a civil servant wanted to contest an election, that they would take a leave of absence, and if they are not successful in the elections, they could take a cooling off period. And what that cooling off period is, I don't know. Whether that's 3, some countries it is as long as 6 months, but that's 6 months without pay as well. Some places, I think there was one country we saw was 3 months, but a lot of the countries were 6 months. And so you would have, after the election, there'd be a period of time before you can return to work, just to allow emotions to settle down and put time between the campaign and returning to work.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. We will let the callers know when the phone lines will be open. We'll let them know. Have a few WhatsApp message questions as well. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Joey Hugh, and Minister Dwayne Seymour, who officially will be PPM candidate come Saturday at the party conference. And meanwhile, the House will be prorogued tomorrow, is it?
Friday.
What am I thinking that tomorrow is Friday? So, gentlemen, one of our listeners has written and said that Mr. Hugh, since he's inviting the leadership of the UDP to join the PPM, including the current premier, have you considered the fact that they will take over the party and push him out of the leadership? So I invite you to clarify what was said there.
Certainly. And I thank the caller for what sounds like a concern. As far as I know, the UDP does not exist anymore. And I think when I was speaking about the fact that we are the only party for the last 12 years. And I also mentioned about the reasons why perhaps the PPM had been considered sort of Georgetown-centric was because the UDP started in West Bay and the PPM started in town for all intents and purposes. And that, no, I intend to ensure that we have some representation at some level in the District of West Bay going forward. So yeah, I didn't extend an invitation to the leadership of the UDP, which I don't think exists anymore, in any of that. So I'm sorry for the confusion, and I am also thankful for the person's concerns.
And as far as the current premier is concerned, her
she's
position,
still a member of the PPM. She was a member and still remains a member as far as I know. I do not think she has resigned.
Okay, and one other listener wanted to know what's the, quote, growing and thriving, close of quote, industry in the islands that you referred to?
I was speaking to the BRAC. I spoke about the infrastructure, but I also was talking about the managing to keep a few of the hotels open, the Lisseau Dior and others. We see expansion of the hotel, the BRAC Reef. And then, of course, we've had additional airlift with the purchase of a new SAB. And so I think it's growing. It could grow a bit faster, but as I said, it's also managed growth. We see proposals there now for marinas and other sorts of beneficial economic growth for the country, for the island actually, that I think the people are eager for and have been supportive. But what we have not seen is runaway growth or runaway development over there, but more managed development in a sense. And so I do believe that with the infrastructure that has been put in place over the last several years, that Kimmanbrack is poised to decide its future economically.
And the pace as well.
And the pace as well, yes.
Yeah. Okay, since we're going to open up the phone lines at 9:30, I'm going to throw I have a few more, but we can read those when the call-in time is. I want to give the mic over to you to ensure that you cover everything that you want to cover in the meantime. Gentlemen.
Yeah, well, thank you, OC. And, just to reiterate my reason and decision in joining the PPM. And in fact, my constituency, let everybody know how I normally do it, call my constituencies together and ask them permission to work with a group or the other. And they've twice now given me the go ahead to work with the progressives, the PPM. In 2017 and in 2021, I ran as an alliance with, and some may ask, you were there with them in the government, and I can tell you it's one of the most humbling experiences I've had, and at the same time educational, in working with the caliber of people that were there with the PPM in the 2017-2021 elections, and going in. I mean, even up to thank God you had such a strong team assembled and a party at the time. When we got that news in 2020 about the pandemic, because that's one of my main reasons in the way that the then premier treated me. I was treated equal to everybody else, and I remember David and Barbara saying, "You're like a PPM member." I was never forced to join or anything, but I'm an honorable person, and I honor my commitments, and I'm a loyal to whatever I commit to. So they knew the type of person I was, so they didn't even try to force me to join or anything. But, this time I thought it was important. I saw what happened in the 2021 election, where most of the persons right now who in other parties aligned themselves, told people knocking on doors that they were going to work with the PPM. So a lot of the people that elected them are actually people who are PPM minded, and elected them in office. And then once they got in office, then you had this barrage of you could say financial promises after the election, that brought independence together. And what a disaster. And I'm telling you, and I can talk about it because I'm living it. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to go over, because thank God I came over, the many things I've done to save this country, people don't even know. The things I've done in Parliament just by bringing a confidence vote to try to keep the government together, never done before in Cayman, a confidence vote, and then had to turn around and leave because things were getting so bad. You know, I was being treated so badly. And obviously, you know, for me, I saw it as a reset because there was a plan. I didn't walk away from anything like some did, you know, the quitters. But what I can say is that the PPM, you know, the structure that it has, and I've known Joey, as I can call him, for over 46 years. You know, we went to middle school together, we went to high school together. We were always friends from school. And I've admired Joey's, you know, progress over the years, you know, his background and everything else. I've seen the way he has handled himself in Parliament, even being an opposition leader. The way he has supported the government, good common sense decisions that he made to support the government, not only because, I want the government to look bad or leave him. He always thought about country. And he he brought his group along to also think about country. That's the way that they operate. He could get up, make a speech. They had already agreed that, and they know that was the party's position. You know, some of these groups nowadays, everybody gotta get up and speak, because everybody wants to be heard. And you know, just seeing the way that he operated, even some of the last parliament that we had, you know, some things could have really went wrong there. You know. And, you know, we worked together, and you know, it was a beautiful time. I thank God for the people we have in the official opposition, the reason why we still have stability in this country. And we ought to know that the whole world is looking at us. And even though some people worry about us as a minority government, in the way that we're managing, and we're managing, you know, it's not easy, but we're managing, and because of the leadership of the premier, the now premier Juliana O'Connor Connolly, which I hope that she decides to run. And I'm going to say one more last prayer on my knees tonight. Everybody, I get about 50 messages a day asking me if Miss Julie is running. And I have to tell them, you know, she haven't made up her mind yet, but, you know, the fever is soon on. So the fever is, I think the fever is Friday. but maybe I indicated something there. But you know, if there's anyone would know it, me. But, you know, it is, I feel good for the decision that I made in joining the PPM at this time. Maybe there were reasons, you know, obviously, you know, I was UDP at first, and then the changeover. It's two different ideologies. But, you know, when Sir Alden called me over in 2017, I saw a different side of the PPM. And I said, man, the things that people are saying about the PPM are not true. They care about people. Party leader Joey, he goes down in swamp, plays dominoes with people down in I call it swamp. There's other names for it. Watlers Road, and play dominoes with people, and they all know him and love him. And Joey, he grew up right in that area. I know Joey growing up down there with Franklin and all them running around riding horses and different stuff. So people gotta know that Joey not just not just pop out today. You know. But he loves his people. And if this wasn't a group that I saw, the way that they operate down in Mirror Street and Boilers Road and all over the place, I'm saying, you know, this group really loves Cayman. You know, and they do it. This is the only group right now that doesn't promise you a financial package. I'll use that word when you join. You know. You don't get offered anything like that. You join the group for the right reason of wanting to see the country reset on the right footing to ensure that the reason why cost of living hasn't been attended, why banking concerns, why immigration and all those things haven't been solved is because there's too much fraction in the group. Everybody wants something else, and it's so much distraction and so much mistrust. And I really am thankful that this is ending, and I say that with all the respect for the persons, because all of the 5 ministers, the 6 people that are in caucus now, I would never get on none of their platforms because I see them as heroes. I did this twice now in being in a minority government. This is my second time, and everyone that I sit with, seeing how they stand up for Cayman, take on additional responsibilities in cap. It's not easy. We can't even get to our constituencies, and I applaud them. I applaud Minister J. I applaud Minister Deputy Premier. I applaud Minister Isaac, the Honorable Premier, and the Honorable Makiba Bush. I hope I haven't missed anyone. For sticking with the government. And even that Bernie's retiring, he's still, toyed that line that he's stuck with the government whenever he's needed, So I have so much to say, OC, so much that I've seen. But
just want to release it, right?
And we have the leader here. I don't want to be talking more.
You have a break?
Yeah, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we're going to open the phone lines. But once we return, you get an opportunity to speak before we open up the phone lines as well. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. If you've been listening, you know the guests who are in the studio. I want to try to save as much time as possible. I just want to say also, talking about continuity, talking about stability, just recently, yesterday, the new government in Bermuda was sworn in. Mm-hmm. The Progressive Labour Party won 25 of the 36 seats. No independent was elected. The opposition party won 11 seats. And that continuity of government even though there may have been a few ministerial changes, happen without a mummer.
Right.
Nothing. Right. That goes to show you the importance of having strong organizations with discipline and there's certainty for the people of the country to know where they're going. One of our listeners also wrote and said, and I'm going to read this quickly before we go to the phone call. Person says, as a former civil servant who has worked for many politicians, it's always been the civil rule to remain neutral, and that means not to be seen or appear to be seen associating with any party. In my mind, attending a political meeting is much different than attending a party convention because it would seem like you're a member of that party. Personally, I believe civil servants should not be allowed to attend as it appears that they're supporting a certain group. If that group does not get in, then they'll possibly be victimized. Just sharing my take on this from my past experience, the person has written.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a fair perspective as well. I think, unfortunately, in a small island like this, if you go to the meetings too, people are going to say that you are. But it is a fair point, and I thank the person for writing that in. I just wanted to touch on what previously we were talking about in Parliament, and if we go back to when the first change in government, when the Honourable Wayne Panton resigned and a new government was formed, on that evening there was a vote of no confidence. And my debate on that evening, OC, was, and when we talk about our Westminster system of politics, it's adversarial by nature with an opposition and a government. But, we recognized at that time that this was not a political thing. This was, the country needed something. And I remember, clearly in my debate, it wasn't attacking any particular individual. It wasn't attacking anyone's capabilities. But what I said is that we have a problem. We have a problem. You can't bring a budget. You can't put a budget together. Your staff are getting sick. People are having nervous breakdowns. The issues in the cabinet and the caucus room are out on the street publicly. We have a problem, and I called on those over there to recognize that this is for country, and we need a brave man or woman to stand up and say, hey, you guys are absolutely right. This is not working, and that's what happened. And I was so pleased the following, a couple of days later, I ran into a gentleman I would call a statesman, who said to me, well done the other night. He said, all of you, the entire government. He said, because the region was watching, and what you demonstrated is that Cayman is a first world country and a first world democracy. Yep. You identified an issue, the premier resigned, and a new government was formed, and that was it.
Continuity. Yes. Let's grab the caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, and good morning to the honourable ministers there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Deputy Leader. It's about time on to let me on. I getting sick of this Wednesday attitude now. I don't open up the phone line. I gotta stop listening to you all on Wednesday and only participate on Monday and Friday. Every Wednesday it's the same thing.
Yeah,
we hear you.
Sorry.
I'm laughing.
I'm not laughing, Lord Graham. I hear you. I appreciate it.
Right. And this thing about playing dominoes down in Swamp, showing the love for people. I play domino with people I can't even stand, even though I'm not good to them. I'm talking to them after the domino game.
And if you drop a 6 love, you run after that. You don't sit down on the table after you drop a 6 love.
I get some love anyway, so I'm talking to them after that. So what I want to hear from Romy and the minister there is at least a 20 to 25 year plan going forward for the best interests of the Cayman people as we know them. You know what I mean by that? As we know them, right? Because as you all know it, and you might not know it, and don't think about it, judge my age now. We looking for something that will benefit us, our children, our grandchildren, and our great grandchildren. And with me, in my case, I'm talking about great grandchildren, because I also already is a great grandfather. So don't try judging my age. That not gonna do with it. Just that I was a hot boy from early age. So we want to know what is at least a 25-year plan going forward for our people, because as you all know, we have been now left behind. Everybody's complaining about that. And quickly, I know you're going commercial because Joey took up all the time. How are we going to change now this immigration reform? What kind of immigration reform we're going to bring? Because I know you bring people into the party now that are strongly about certain immigration reform that he got kicked out before.
Big on his platform. That was big on a big item on his platform.
Oh, big. Oh, yeah. So now that you bring that, I wonder what kind of immigration reform we bring in, because I got some ideas that I've been throwing it out on OC show. So we want to see some serious immigration reform that will be, like I say, in the best interests of us going forward. So that's all I got to say for right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank him for the call. And just to say that, as we always do, we will be publishing an in-depth manifesto in a couple of weeks. But on top of that, we've been talking about this PPM 4.0. But what is the future of Cayman? And that focuses around the continuity of the party and the future of the party. But what is the future of Cayman? And I think it is time that we do have an exercise where people get to voice their opinions on what they want their Cayman to look like. And that is one of my goals, whether it's something as big as a Vision 2008 or not. But it is certainly, what is your Cayman 4.0? What do you see the next version of Cayman looking like for Caymanians? And that is something that we certainly want to do once in power. Also to say that, we absolutely agree that we need to modernize our immigration policies. They're quite a bit old, they're quite a few years old. And all of those laws were written for the protection of Caymanians and intended for the betterment of the Caymanian people. And that is certainly the perspective we have to take when reviewing those laws and advancing those laws.
But we have to look at the intention and what actually
and what happens. That's what I said,
yes,
right.
yeah.
So it has to be modern. We have to look at that. And for me, one of the low-hanging fruit for me in particular, and I have a very good grasp of what's happening out there, is the enforcement. And enforcement of our immigration laws, and not just enforcement on people on the construction sites where it's an easy target, but enforcement in the law across the board, from your blue collar to your white collar. So that's easy. We can hit the ground running with that, but then we have to sit down and look at it. We have to modernize it. When this law was written, immigration laws were written when the point system was put in place. Cayman was at a different point than where we are now, and so we need to modernize it to actually suit the times that we see that we're in now for the future.
Most people's concerns now are the pathways that we have in our immigration legislation to permanent residence.
Yeah, it's not the status; it's the PR. Is we have to look at that certainly. Yeah.
Now, and I know your manifesto is coming out and everything, but just like we saw in the U.S. and we see in other jurisdictions as well, the party in power will identify certain things that need to be done, like pronto, right now. Should we expect to see some of that, where low-hanging fruit, but fruit that needs to be picked now before they either ripen or spoil? In most instances, spoil. Would you do we expect to see some of those things that within a few days, within a few weeks?
Certainly, if we can, things that are there that are easy fixes, things that may be in train already, who knows? But yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is not an exercise of coming in and running audits and witch hunts and breaking down everything that was done previously. But we will have to have a look at those and ensure that what we do, that there's no unintended consequences to our actions, because I've always said it on here, we are an extremely fragile economy, extremely fragile. And this is going to continue all over the world. Immigration is a very contentious issue, and one that many countries are grappling with, and we are no different, but we have to do something about it.
We know you have a tight deadline that you have to leave, so I want to give you an opportunity for closing comments before we go to our last commercial break.
Right, certainly, Osi, I want to thank you. First of all, let me say a happy birthday to Miss Maxine Bryson, whose birthday was on Monday. Sorry I haven't been able to get around to see you yet. And just to remind everyone about our conference, March 1st, this Saturday at the Kimpton Seafire Resort. We were unable to get a hall because it's a political event, so we're at a hotel. Membership registration is at 5:30 with a 6:30 start for the business meeting. That's for members. And then 7:30 we're open to the public. And so we'd like at that point for persons to come and join us if they wish. And we invite them all to come and join us. So with that, Osi, I want to say once again, thank you for having me. And it has been, an interesting 4 years, and I've enjoyed our time coming on at the show as the official opposition on Wednesdays. And today will be the last day that we'll come on a Wednesday as official opposition, but I look forward to coming back on Mondays as a government.
Certainly. And I must say that our, listeners certainly look forward, to Wednesdays as well. And thank you very much.
Thank
folks.
you.
We're going to take our last commercial break. Minister Seymour is going to remain with us, so don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts Building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
Hi,
I'm Deputy Governor Franz Manderson, and I'm excited to announce the DG's 5K Challenge is just around the corner. We kick off things in Little Cayman on March 9th, followed by Cayman Brac on March 16th, and the grand finale on Grand Cayman on March 30th. This year, we're supporting the Cayman Islands Girls Brigade, the Cayman Islands Scouts Association, and the One-to-One Foundation, each helping to shape our next generation. Join us in making a positive impact. For registration details, find us on Facebook at DG's 5K Challenge.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have about 10 minutes left to go in the show. I have two messages I'm going to read, and we have one caller. Minister Seymour is still in the studio with us. This person has written and said, "It is with great joy that I extend a warm welcome to my dear nephew, Honorable Dwayne Seymour, as he joins the People's Progressive Movement. Reflecting on the journey of this party, I think back to the founding days with the Honorable Kurt Tibbetts, Honorable Alden McLaughlin, the late Honorable Edna Moyle, Honorable Anthony Eden, and Honorable Arden McLean. Together we established the PPM to ensure it truly represents the voice of the people. Today I am especially honored to welcome Honorable Dwayne Seymour. It brings me great pride to see him become a card-carrying member of the party we built together. We took our time in forming the PPM because we were committed to creating a party that genuinely serves the community. One of the remarkable qualities of the PPM is our ability to unite with various groups and parties to forge a strong coalition for the betterment of the Cayman Islands. Welcome, Honorable Seymour, along with your Aunt Christine and myself. Your contributions will undoubtedly enrich the PPN and strengthen our mission to uplift our beloved Cayman Islands. Let us move forward together with purpose and determination. Miss Lucille Seymour. This other person wrote and said, in all fairness, the current Premier and Minister Seymour have both been members of a PPM cabinet in the past and did not at any time try to overthrow the PPM leadership and take over. So I don't think it will happen now. That's because the PPM is a real party that insists on the input of members, and the majority has the say. Yep. Now, Minister Seymour, two choices. We can grab the caller and then you will have the mic for the rest of the time, or is there anything that you want to insert based on what persons said here and some things that you want to say?
Yeah, before you take the call, I just want
to
thank my aunt. Mm-hmm. How could I go on without doing that? I thank my Aunt Lucille for that wonderful message. There's so much that I've learned from her. In fact, you know, growing up, looking at her success as a teacher and so forth has inspired me. And even my Aunt Christine, you know, seeing her as a businesswoman and you know, rising to vice president of an American bank, really inspired me to make me know that I could also do something with my life. But I thank them very much for the love they're showing me over the years and the support that they've given me. But I wanted to say that, and I want to thank the caller also for recognizing that, you know, we're team players. You know, I'm loyal to and I'm very respectful towards the leadership that is there, the structure that is placed. Everybody can't lead. You know, some has to follow, and we need to know how to support the leadership. At different times, all of us will have to lead. We'll lead our own ministries if that's the responsibility that we're given by appointed to by the Premier.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But, you know, we all can't lead, and people don't understand being a leader is not an easy job. It's not for the weak at heart.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Oh my gosh. I've seen them saying, oh boy, I don't want to do this again.
Okay, we're going to grab the caller. Caller, we're going to ask you to please be as brief as possible. We're running out of time. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Hussein. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry I missed Mr. Hugh, but I didn't hear about it anyway. I have a gripe because I'm now a senior citizen Caymanian, a business owner as well. But politicians always looking at the top of the ladder. They're not looking at the bottom. The issues that affect us in our everyday lives There's not one party or one person who's running for election who's addressed these issues. Why are we overlooking these issues? Let's start with the traffic. Anybody going to address that and do something about it? There are things that can be done. I know all of them. Then we have the cost of living. Are we going to raise wages, or are we going to reduce cost of living in some other way? We have a public transport bus system that is run Kingston style. It's not managed the way it's supposed to be managed for Cayman. Now we have Caymanians in the same bus service who are competing in the same fashion that the Jamaican drivers are doing, which is who gets to the next stop the fastest. All these things are not organized. Bus drivers can sit and wait for the bus to get full before they leave. No, all these things are not right. So the small things are being overlooked, and we keep putting icing on the cake. The cake is rotting in the middle. Then we have also the issue of illegals. I can tell you, I have 6 or 7 applicants per month. The story is the same. Somebody have my permit, but I don't have no work. Why is this happening? Because we are not starting from the bottom. We're overlooking, looking at the sky, while the sea is getting very rough. These things have to be addressed. Why they're not being addressed? I heard somebody praise getting the dock. No, I agree we need a dock. But don't come and tell me we need a dock because we need big cruise ships. I'm not going to swallow that pill. Here's why. Up until Friday last week.
Caller, I would like for you to concentrate, rather than giving us examples, concentrate on the issues that you feel that need to be addressed, because we don't have a whole lot of time.
I just gave you them, so you want me to give you the answers for them now?
No, we don't have time for that this morning, unfortunately.
Right. Well, I'm sorry about that, but the issues are there. And want to represent Cayman the way they're supposed to be, it can happen. But they got to stop looking in the sky.
Got you. Thank you very much, caller, for that, Minister Seymour.
Yeah, I want to thank the caller also. I mean, he's right. Traffic, cost of living, wages,
public transport,
these are things that need to be highlighted. And the party, the PPM party, has to address these. And over the next couple of weeks, obviously, couldn't expect that, before nomination, that you would actually have a full manifesto that would suit everyone. When you're bringing new people into the party, they need to have their interjection, their comments, and put it in also into the new constitution, the new party's manifesto. Also, but I agree with the caller. These are things, and there's things that we can do to fix a lot of these that are not very expensive. But this is what happens when you put together a government like we did for the last 4 years. You don't get a lot done because everybody is we had like 3 people wanting to be premier. We can't have that. You can't get anything done like that because there's a lot of mistrust. But with the caller, I mean, he should be one of the people that we put on one of these steering committees along with Lord Graham for some of those immigration reforms and to put some of those things on board. And we just need to know that whatever we do with immigration, we need to know what the effects are going to be for the economy.
So for the information of that caller, if you were to be part of a government, a new government, that person should contact you because you would want to.
Definitely. I mean,
to have them.
I always say, we'll see that we have all the answers here. I'm sick of hearing people talking about. Sorry to talk like that, but about bringing in these consultants. All the consultants do when they come in is you never see them leave. They entrench themselves in
they consult and they tell you, give us the job to do it after we've given you the advice.
We need to really, and if we can get rid of some of this negativity, putting Caymanians down that really have something to offer. It mightn't be the type of person that you want to see or the type of person that you admire, but everybody has something to contribute. God put us on this earth, and everybody put on with a purpose. What is your purpose? That maybe this is my purpose that he put me here for. I don't know. But hopefully I have still some time to go to figure that out.
Yeah. One quick one before we go off, and this ties in with what some of the things that the caller said before. This person says, if I were a betting person, I would bet that if the PPM-led government, that immigration for the benefit of generational Caymanians won't happen. Now, we know, and we heard Lord Graham talk earlier, and we mentioned the fact that this was high on, immigration reform was high on your platform, and not only that, but a white paper, has been prepared, with that. Not wanting to, put any, stick anything between you and the progressives, and not wanting you to show your hand, but do you feel that with the way that the PPM operates, that some of the things that you desire to take place will take place?
I really don't have any concerns about that. As long as I'm a part of the team, there will be immigration reform. I have no concerns about that. Some people have some concerns that the PPM has to address, and this is one of them. We need to. I keep saying all the time, OC, immigration, we outdone ourselves. Caymanians outdid themselves. We went overseas, right? I mean, we flipped the switch now, because we used to send our seamen overseas. They used to send the remittances back. That was our inward investment. Now we've switched, and we have financial services, and we have other industries. But we've outdone ourselves. We've sent teams overseas to bring business back to Cayman, and they've done a good job. Now it's time for us to harness all of that energy that we have put in over the years and ensure that Caymanians benefit. So we need to put policies in place that Caymanians can benefit from it now. And the gentleman earlier talked about we're working from the top and not from the bottom. I'm a grassroots person, Everything I do is about the regular common man. I mean, if we look at the Bible, when Jesus came, he says, look, I came not for the righteous. I came for sinners. So you got to understand that everything that I do is about the regular common man, trying to find opportunities for them. And I think one of the ways forward is for us to ensure that Caymanians get entrepreneurial opportunities. That's the fastest way to middle class, and we need to do all we can financially and otherwise to ensure that Caymanians get an opportunity to benefit from the success of this country. If we don't do that in the next 8 years, we're going to be not only a minority, but we're going to all be fleeing.
Or under reservation.
Well, that's what they would love.
Yeah.
But we're not going there.
Okay, anything you want to say to Ms. Julie before we leave?
Well, I thank you for saying that, because when you got a person, my joy in knowing that Miss Julie is on my team, the premier, is she was a teacher. She was my teacher back in high school, She was a lawyer. She was the Speaker of the House. She was the Deputy Premier. She's now the Premier. And, having someone with that kind of experience that will come back and be a part of this team would be exciting, not only for women, but exciting for the whole country.
And productive.
And productive, And we wouldn't even be able to hit the ground running. We would be able to hit the ground bolt speed. But I thank her for all the service that she has given to this country. And I hear him talk about the Brock School. You imagine Cayman has built 5 or 6 schools, and the Brock has a school that needs upgrading that hasn't been rebuilt in over 60 years. Been built 60 years ago, and people are complaining that she wants something better for Cayman Brock. Cayman Brock deserves everything that Cayman has, that Grand Cayman has. So I just want to say tonight I invite persons out 3:30 this afternoon to the Francine Gardner's school hall ribbon cutting. That's an exciting times, and for the Bordentown primary school, the Theolin McCoy Primary School, and I want people to know, see that once I'm on the team, I represent a different cross section of people. and I'm proud doing that. And there's no shame there. But when I advised the former premier, the former premier that was in the PAC government, about the way to go about the CUC grants that they were doing and about the utility relief and stuff, I knew the way that they were going about it was wrong. I tried telling them, they said no. So there's things that we can do in that realm to give people immediate relief. There's also things that we can do to give people relief in our groceries, with the supermarket and so forth. There's things that we can do that I've been trying to do for years now, but hadn't been able to do because I didn't have the support. But I thank you very much for having us on. Obviously, we can have come on another day.
Oh, yes.
Talk about policies, but today was about me coming on as first time as a PPM member and running with the PPM party, and I'm excited that this is the party right now of choice. If people want to talk about individuals, then they can pick the other parties. But if they want to talk about what party can collectively benefit this country, it's only one party.
Yep.
The PPM.
Minister Seymour, thank you very much, folks. I want to thank all of you as well. Don't forget, join Sterling Dwayne Ebanks at 12:15 for Talk Today, and as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. And the Cayman Islands National Museum. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride.